ụmụnne m gwadalụli nenu ihe bụ Eastern News 24 ka esi were wetara ya bụ ozi. Anyị chọrọ ime ka unu mara na nnukwu ọṅụ dị n'ala Igbo. Biko ebe ọbụla ị nọ tụnye mma gị enu na Chineke azaghị anyị ekpere. Finally, when I mean finally, the nnwere onwe a na-azọ n'ala Igbo Chukwu na-anụ gị ya. Tụsara m ya bụ ozi anyị ji maka webe n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa. Breaking news. A letter to UK Parliament over illegal detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Pan-African Forum make a shocking move to the world. Hear the news in details. All right, ka gbapụ na ya ọsọ, anyị were oge chacha, were ihe na-eme napụgodi ya gbakpụm ge ya bụ ozi anyị ji maka webe n'iru akwụkwọ. Ị ga-esi ebe ifekaba arụ ka ịtụsakwa ya bụ ozi kwurute ndị ọzọ n'ebe dị iche iche ntị. Over to you.
West Africa has seen a mix of troubling developments and symbolic milestones this week, from deadly kidnappings in Nigeria.
Letter to the Foreign Secretary of UK Parliament. You know, the issue of Biafra, the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the issue of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is no longer a joke. It's now an international issue as it concerns our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why is UK government keeping silence on the illegal detention of our Supreme Leader, who is a British citizen? Is that how UK behave? Right now, let me read out this letter from Pan-Africa Forum Limited and Associates. Public letter to Right Honourable Priti Patel, MP, Shadow Foreign Secretary of UK Parliament. Subject: why are you silent on the illegal detention of British citizen Nnamdi Kanu? Date: 30th July 2025. Dear Madam Priti Patel, we write this public letter to raise a matter of grave concern, one that touches not only on the fate of British citizens, but also on the credibility of UK's shadow cabinet commitment to human rights, rule of laws, and protection of its nationals abroad. As a shadow foreign secretary and a former home secretary, a post you held office at a time when Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, you are aware of a British citizen, a leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, was illegally abducted and extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria in June 2021. As a lawyer by profession, you know his transfer was a blatant violation of international law, conducted without due process, and in breach of Article 3 of the UN Convention Against Torture, as well as the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Since that illegal operation, Mr. Kanu has been detained unlawfully in the DSS facility in Abuja for over 4 years. Won multiple court rulings in Nigeria, including from the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, affirming his abduction was unlawful and ordering his release, but has been subjected to inhuman conditions, denied medical access, and denied consular protection from his own country, the United Kingdom. And yet, you have not said nothing. Is this how British treat its own citizen? Your Tory government moved swiftly in other international human rights cases from Hong Kong to Belarus. But in this instance, a British citizen was abducted, tortured, and held in defiance of court orders, and no official protest or statement was made under your leadership at the Home Office. The British people deserve to know, number one, was the UK informed or complicit in the rendition of Mr. Kanu to Nigeria? 2. Why did the Home Office under your leadership fail to invoke the protection available to British citizens under international law? 3. Will you now, in your capacity as an MP, a shadow foreign secretary and former Home Secretary, demand Mr. Kanu's immediate release and repatriation? Silence in the face of injustice is complicity. Madam Patel, your silence and that of the shadow British government headed by Kemi Enoch, Nigeria by origin, sent a dangerous message that some British citizens are less worthy of protection than others. That citizenship can be ignored for political expedience. That the rule of law only matters when it is convenient. This is unacceptable. We call on you to issue a formal public statement on Mr. Kanu's detention. We demand the Nigerian government comply with its own court ruling and release him. We request you to use your voice in Parliament as a shadow foreign secretary to uphold the dignity and right of all British citizens regardless of race, religion and political belief. History will judge those who stood for justice and those who turned away in silence. Sincerely, Pan-African Forum, Limited and Associate. Yes, guys, this letter speaks volume. You all know that our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu has been detained since over how many years now in DSS dungeon. But thank God, most African countries have come to realize that we Africans need to really liberate ourselves from this bullshit going on in different African countries, not just in Biafra land, not just in Nigeria, but it's time we come together to secure our land, to save ourselves, because some of these people using our people to fight us, they don't like us. That is just the typical truth. But let me not say much. Now, listening to this conversation in this video is Dr. David Matanga. Like, he said a lot of things about Biafra, about different countries in Africa, what Nigeria is doing, the killings in Nigeria, the kidnapping, so many atrocities. Just listen to this video and kindly share this video and leave your opinion in the comment section, please.
West Africa has seen a mix of troubling developments and symbolic milestones this week, from deadly kidnappings in Nigeria, fresh protests in Togo, to Senegal's probe into political violence. And meanwhile, Ghana is expanding its global ties. Liberia marked 178 years of independence, and US singer Ciara received Benin citizenship. Well, to help us unpack these stories, we're now joined by political analyst and conflict resolution expert, Dr. David Matsanga. Always good to talk to you. Very good morning to you, Dr. Matsanga.
Good morning, Peter Ndoro. Good morning, the rest of Africa. The lines today have not been very good, but we shall try.
Amen. Let's start in Nigeria now. Nigeria continues to grapple with rampant kidnappings and the killing of 35 hostages even after ransom was paid suggests a really worrying shift. What does this say about the state's ability to provide security and also the behavior of those that are doing the kidnapping, killing people even after ransoms paid?
Peter Ndolo, earlier on in your programs, I told you there is no state called Nigeria, or I told one of your presenters around there that there was no state called Nigeria. Nigeria is a country without a country, a state without a state. In political science, anybody who has studied that subject will tell you what that means. It means the rule of law has collapsed, governance is not there, it is a state governed by terrorism, banditry, hostage-taking, kidnap, money laundering, and many other activities. Boko Haram are there eating people, taking people, kidnapping the girls, taking them at will. The Nigerian army itself has turned on its own civilians in the southeast. Instead of going to protect and fight Boko Haram, they fight the people in the southeast, the Biafrans, and the southeast, south. Now, Nigeria is not a state. Nigeria needs to seek for help. But unfortunately, the leadership there, they don't want help. They don't want external forces to help them. Boko Haram has grown all the way in the north of Nigeria, Maiduguri, kidnap. Even when you pay money, they kill you after you have paid the money. So what type of country is this with a population of 250 million people? The leadership has failed the people of Nigeria. And I think the best way that I have said always in Africa, the best way is rearrange Nigeria like Congo. And I've told you Congo will never be peaceful. Nigeria will never be peaceful. Yugoslavia is beautiful. Is now peaceful because it was rearranged. Thank you.
Okay, what about Togo, not too far away? We've seen renewed protests there targeting President Faure Gnassingbé's extended rule, and many seeing this as a dynasty the power group following his taking over from his father, of course. What do you think is fueling the youth-led unrest, and how significant is this moment?
The people in Togo see what is happening in Niamey, in Niger, and what is happening in Mali, North, what is happening in Burkina Faso. The younger generation there, the officers, they are watching. It won't take long. And Peter, we shall come back here, and I'll tell you, I told you. It won't take long. The gentleman there is doing things, changing the constitution. I don't know where these people in Africa got this appetite of changing the constitution. Like, look at Ouattara. Ouattara even eliminates all his friends, and he remains alone. Yet he is also not from Ivory Coast. He's from Burkina. And Mbeki. Mbeki is there. We know Mbeki, Kisano, Matsanga. We know where Mr. Ouattara comes from. But he has eliminated others on saying they belong to dual nationality. But let's come to this Togo. Togo man changes the constitution. Peter takes over. And then he said the constitution starts now. And he's in for 7 years. Now, look, what type of life is this? That one is an accident in waiting, and I don't want to predict what I want to say here. People might think I'm encouraging some other men to come on and take power, but I think Togo is a candidate for a military coup.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're certainly watching that space quite closely. Senegal has opened an official investigation into the political violence seen between 2021 and 2024. How important is this for national healing, and does it restore confidence in Senegal's democratic institution?
First of all, Faye and Sonko, and let them hear me. I told them, and I've told them, there are two things that you need to do. Stabilize the population, seek reconciliation. I don't know why they took long to seek healing process. You know, after the arrests and the detentions and the removal of people from voting registers, beating people, shooting people, you needed what we call a redemption strategy. I told Faye and Sonko the first month, I said, please, if you want to do it early. After you take government, do a reconciliation, reconcile with people, and allow a commission, amnesty commission, like what you did in South Africa. South Africa is stable up to now because of what Mandela did. Truth and Justice Commission, where people come up to say, I'm sorry. Rwanda is stable. Gachacha courts. Uganda is stable. Konyi, you remember? We came back, people came back and said, sorry, we did this, we did that, we have forgiven you, we want one country. If you don't do that in Africa, time is running out for us. So if Sonko is establishing that with Faye, that is good in Senegal. But it has come at a wrong time when the two men don't see eye to eye. As I promised you, your presenter, the other one last week, I will be flying there next week to make sure that I put them together and they sit down so that they don't quarrel anymore. Thank you.
Ghana's move to extend visa-free access to two non-African countries is being framed as part of a global diplomatic strategy. What's your take on the motivation behind this move?
I think it's to attract investment. That's okay. That Ghana already, if it does a plus, that is very good, my brother. A plus. Because in Ghana, once you are an African, you enter and you are not a criminal. You don't have drugs. You don't have any illicit trading that you are going to do. You have a man of good conduct. In Accra Airport, you enjoy what Africa wants, what Nkrumah wanted, what Sekou Touré, America bro, Emperor Haile Selassie, Jomo Kenyatta, Nyerere wanted. If an Africa integrated, you enter Ghana like you are going to some place to relax you with your sunshine. So that is a good plus for Ghana. And I thank President Mahama, my friend. Keep it up, President Mahama. And allow the world, let the world see that Africa doesn't have restrictions. And they are very strict. Ghanaian immigration, customs, the narcotics, they are there. They are working. Institutions in Ghana work. And that nobody said that if you allow people in one country, they will come with bad manners. Institutions in Ghana works. If you enter, customs will check you. Narcotics will check you. Immigration will check you. The institutions there work.
Yeah.
There's no corruption anymore. So that is very good step forward to allow other members to come to see how hospitable we are in Africa than this thing of Trump chasing people and scared,
Right.
telling them, even chaining children to get out of America. Soon it will be the heaven of Africa.
Dr. Matsanga, great talking to you. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much, and sorry for the lines. I think they are
ndị be anyị ngwadarụ niile nụ dịka unu si wee gee ya bụ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa n'ebe akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Anyị chọrọ ịma ife unu chere n'ụdị nke unu gbasata maka ya bụ ife nwanne nwoke kọwagasị ọpdeti o wetara anyị n'iru akwụkwọ ka efu nche gbasata maka ya bụ ife drọpụrụ anyị ya n'akara kọment na kọment sekshọn ka anyị fụ alụ gị fụfe iche mgba ka emesịa na ụmụnne m.